And then as he goes deeper, the master dissolves himself into the disciple in the final stage where he appears to the disciple and the disciple experiences himself as a vast, undifferentiated consciousness of radiant ether, a homogeneous energy of radiant ether, and his mind is expanded to the far limits of the mind and matter of the universe. He is everywhere. His mind has become a crystal thought of existence and consciousness and bliss. He is existence, consciousness and bliss. There is no thought, but just the feeling of deep peace and a subtle waves of joy. He has no desire, nor for himself, nor for his Guru, nor for God, knowing that he is experiencing God and floating in a vast sea of joy. So the Guru and the Master has died for the disciple and become a sea of joy. He has cracked his ego and disappeared, become the experience of the disciple's samadhi. And now he is in a state of self-realization, and the disciple's mind is called the bearer of truth because it can see the whole universal energies working at tandem, working in karma. His mind is expanded to the size of the universe. He has realized God, but only through divine mind. Now is the crucial state. He has to take the quantum leap, the paradigm shift from divine mind to divine consciousness. And nobody can do it for him. If he tries, he fails, because in this state of mind, the disciple's mind, there is no desire. And to try means he has a desire. If the disciple doesn't try, he is also stuck, because then no effort is made to penetrate the star of mind. He just has to wait in innocent awareness with all humility for the grace of God. In that state, God the Guru will come with the whole energy of the universe, which is like a whole ocean of molten glass. It's a homogeneous fabric of radiant ether without a ripple of thought. This will coalesce into a huge star, and the disciple will be pulled through his own stargate by the gravity of Guru Kripa. Guru Kripa. That is the grace of the Guru, where no ego, no I, and no effort, no practice of Kriya Yoga, nothing will do it. You just have to be. Then stiller, then stillness itself. With bated breath I do behold my rising self-stars nectar gold. And then by Guru Akarshan, he is pulled through the gate of his own divine mind. And he enters from a state of self-realization to a state of God-realization. He enters from a state of Savikalpa Samadhi to a state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He enters from the spheres of relativity into the state beyond relativity. He has passed, the rings pass not. By constantly being in this state, practicing the state of Savikalpa Samadhi. This is the manner in which the Guru dies unto the disciple, and he leads them from one stage to into a higher and subtler stage of consciousness. And when the disciple is passed from a state of self-realization of divine mind, takes the form of a huge star, and then the disciple passes through his own stargate, he falls into eternity. He falls into his own gravity, into his own Gurutva Akarshan. Gurutva Akarshan, the spiritual gravity, pulls him through the stargate. You've all heard of stargate, it is within you. When he passes through the stargate, he goes into eternity. Or she goes into eternity. And then they go into the state of divine consciousness. But even here, as the valiant yogi constantly practices asampradnyat samadhi or nirvikalpa samadhi, again and again, he has conquered his thoughts, he has conquered his thought forms. His thoughts are vritti, he has conquered chitta vritti nirodhasya. He has conquered his chitta vritti, which is thoughts, whirlpool of thoughts. He has conquered his thought forms, which is pratyaya. But he has not conquered, even in a state of divine mind, he has not permanently conquered what is called his remembered experiences of past lives, which is samskars. He is a totally enlightened being, but he is not liberated. He has not got to Brahma Nirvana. He has not got to Nirvana Moksha. And there lies the difference between enlightenment and a permanent state of Brahma Nirvana. Because we use the word enlightenment loosely, there are many stages of enlightenment. And as he practices, flying from divine mind of self-realization to divine consciousness of God realization, again and again he is pulled back to the divine mind, because desires of past lives bubble up from the surface of his mind's lake to pull the hamsa, the soul swan, back again into relativity. And then again the valiant yogi tries for Nirbij Samadhi. You see, unless the Samadhi has even one seed of thought of all your past, present and future lives, you cannot be liberated. You cannot get Nirvana Moksha. You can only be enlightened into that state. You have got to the state, you know it, in divine mind. And as he practices life year after year, decade after decade, life after life, the desires of his past life, stored impressions of past lives, remembered experiences bubble up from the surface of his mind's lake to pull the soul swan back into the lake of divine mind. Then again the valiant soul makes his effort and rises above the lake of divine mind to enter Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the Asampradnyat Samadhi, the state of divine consciousness. But then again, 1,000 years ago, he had had a love affair with some maiden. That love affair comes to the thing. That thought pulls him back. Again he must trace it, suppress it and transform it. Again take the flight. And 1,000,000 times this will happen. And 1,000,000 times the valiant soul will fly. He will make his effort, or he will just stay in the state of passive alertness. So you cannot try, you cannot not try. So to get to a state from Savikalpa Samadhi to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, from a state of self-realization to God realization, you cannot try, you cannot not try, you just have to be. You have to be in a state of innocent, passive awareness. No bhakti, no shakti, just be. God knows it all. You're already connected. You have to let that boil down. You have to let the heat subside. You have to let the thought and desire finish. Even the last thought of desire, unless it is finished, you cannot get to the permanent. And then after long lifetimes, you, the soul swan, shall win your wings to freedom. And you and the Master, your Sadguru, will be one. Such is the work of the Sadguru. It takes you from self-realization to divine realization.